Alright, hello everybody! I think that music might be a tad too loud. Welcome back to Rose Guns Days. Hello Lucas, Armagus, Mystery Theater. Oh my god, it feels like it's been forever since I've done Rose Guns Days. I know I keep saying that. So, just before we start, and before I do recaps, a couple of things. So I do know that in like 2 weeks, Tales of Arise is going to come out. I do intend to play that when it comes out. I haven't quite decided the schedule yet, but I figure I may as well float a few ideas in front of you guys. One idea is I know how the arcs in Rose Guns Days are not exactly congruent with the parts. There's 4 parts, but there's likely 3 arcs. So one thing I might do is after the second arc of Rose Guns Days ends, like this one concerning the Golden Dragon Society, that might go on a bit of hiatus. While Remember 11 and Tales of Arise are going on. And then when Remember 11 finishes, I'll get back to Rose Guns Days for the third and final story arc. Because I think leaving Rose Guns Days off at the end of a story arc, with that completed, will be less of like a cliffhanger. Because I don't want to stop in the middle of the story. And I think overall, maybe Remember 11 Rose Guns Days. I think Remember 11 is probably the one that's closer to finishing. So I think unless anyone has any better ideas, I think that's what I'm gonna do. If you can say any better ideas you'd like to say on the Discord, then I am totally open to suggestions. Hello T, welcome to the stream. So anyway, last time we met Mr. Wang, and he is, what a personality this villain has. He's really funny too, but in like a much more menacing way than Alfred was. And he's clearly very cunning and intelligent. I can't wait to see where the story goes, because it looks like he's going to use Zell against Rose. Ugh. And Zell has no choice with her father. Oh god, or Hotaru I should say. Well, let's get back into it. Again, Luca, I'm gonna see where I am with both games. And I'll make the final decision then. I'll see like where Rose Guns Days and Remember 11 are at that point, and I'll make the final decision then, because I do believe that Remember 11 is a lot closer to ending based on what people have told me. And since Rose Guns Days is, I'm approaching the end of this second out of 3 story arcs, I think that would be a good place to put it on pause for a couple of weeks until Remember 11 ends. But anyway, let's get back into it. Yay! Back with the wandering dogs!
Good work on this latest investigation, Wandering Dogs. Thank you very much. We've discovered that the mastermind you spotted was a core member of the GDS, Wang Long. Going forward, the higher-ups will analyze what exactly they were planning.
It's pretty obvious that they were scheming to make some pocket money again, using Madame Rose's soy sauce.
Not sure what kind of big shot he is, but that's one cheap bastard!
Seriously. What a doity VIP! Would such a big core member really do something so cheap against us? Just to earn some pocket money. If we just assume that, we'll waste the trump card we've worked so hard for. I love this expression of Nina's so much. What does this incident mean? And how can we use it during negotiations? We'd better think carefully about that.
Yes, Zell is definitely right. We fools shouldn't jump to conclusions.
God, I love Oliver and Zell's dynamics so much. All four of these precious babies. And anyway, it's the bosses and higher-ups who'll have to examine that. We're the wandering dogs! Our job just to sniff out prey and info and bring it back.
I heard you were unwell, but you seem to be in high spirits now. I'm relieved.
Thank you for your concern. Actually, it's pretty embarrassing to have one of the bosses hear about that. Zell was fully back in high spirits. I hope it's not an act. That dark atmosphere from before was completely gone. Zell had explained that she was just feeling bad because of a cold. Uh-oh. And the other three had nodded. Of course, none of the three believed she'd have a cold. They thought her memory had probably come back, making her remember something painful. But despite this, Zell had come back here. And she was acting like nothing had happened, trying to regain her everyday life. So the other three decided to also act as though nothing had happened.
If Zell's in high spirits, we're incredibly strong.
Thanks to your recent cold, we now know full well how much we relied on you.
If you're relying on me so much, I'm not sure if I'm happy or embarrassed. The four of us together are the wandering dogs! If even one of us is gone, there's no point!
Now you're talking tough. You guys are much cooler than someone who has the lone wolf like me.
He's somewhat cool! So wait!
Well, I can feel that fortune of ours rising.
Guess we really do need our goddess of good fortune to smile.
We'll keep doing better and better.
This isn't exactly a getting well celebration for Zell, but I brought you some good news today. Well, as usual, Richard Sans agreed to a fervent request of Zell's.
How'd you like them apples? We're in business again.
Achievements must be rewarded. Zell has worked hard on your behalf. As a result, in appreciation for all you've done so far, the 4 members of the Wandering Dogs have been invited to participate in this month's pasta gathering.
Whoa!
Tally ho!
Hell yeah! Ah, Sacre bleu! C'est incroyable! The 3 of them yelled and swayed as they considered those words. The pasta gathering! I'm sure you've all heard at least that name before. That's right! We're talking about that pasta gathering, the one hosted by Madame Rose.
We get to eat Madame Rose's homemade pasta?
That's not it, fool. It's practically a meeting of Primavera's board of directors, where Madame Rose, the grand boss, the consigliere, and the bosses of all the crews participate.
So, Marisol and Celestine will be there too? Yeah! That's just too awesomely awe-inspiring! I can't believe it! It's a chance to get all the other bosses to learn our names.
In other words, it's a huge chance for advancement.
Are we finally gonna make it big?
Oh, come on, that's crazy! It's just a meeting with a meal. You're getting ahead of yourselves. But listen to this. It might not end as a mere dream.
I spoke with Zell about this. So I might as well tell you all now. You probably know that the consigliere and I are preparing a personal bodyguard team for the madam.
As an underworld boss, Madame Rose could find as many grim-faced, sunglasses-wearing guards as she wanted. Again, the generic mook society, where everybody goes to shop for mooks. However, Primavera was also an organization for the support of its countrymen. Oh my god. I love this image. Oh my god. This is a fucking meme template right here. This is a fucking meme template for sure. Oh my god. No, this is definitely a meme template. Absolutely. This image is just fucking hilarious. It'd be pointless if the charitable woman who went around promoting mutual aid of our fellow countrymen had to do with a squad of creepy old men as guards. So finding some young, not grim-faced guards around Rose's own age was an urgent matter.
The madam is a woman. A group of all-male guards couldn't be with her all the time. In addition, such a team would need the sharp nose and fangs of guards, and would also need to understand each other and move with rapid coordination.
As the three of them fidgeted, wondering, doesn't that sound a lot like us? Zell nodded energetically. Yup, he's actually talking about us.
The wandering dogs satisfy all those conditions. You might say this pasta gathering will serve as your debut and interview as well. And just act like you always do, is what I'd like to say, but... Don't do anything crude! You have to be elegant, so you don't tarnish Madame Rose's reputation.
If we make a bad show, it'll shame Vincent. So, wandering dogs, here's your next mission. Between now and the pasta gathering, you've got to learn how to behave in an elegant manner. Nothing I'm wasted. Even pasta has rules and manners as to how you eat it. If you slurp it up, the other bosses will laugh at you.
You're kidding me! There are rules for eating things?
Don't be afraid, wandering dogs. Do you want to let this chance slip by? If they don't think we're a match for Madame Rose, we'll never move upwards. I'll do it! Tally-ho!
There you go. Oliver is ready to do it.
Oh, this is so sudden. I mean, you're talking about the pasta. Yes, of course.
Charles and Nina, do you want to be left behind? Just kidding. Of course, an alien rat's just itching for a chance.
If learning manners mean we get to eat infinite seconds, I'm willing to put up with it.
If we were decided, let the trading begin. Zell, we need your guidance.
I saw this coming, so I put a bunch of books on table manners beforehand. It's a bit sudden, but the pasta gathering is in 3 days. Come on, let's give it a roll. Allons-y! The three of them kneeled and listened to Zell's lecture on manners. Wayne had quietly left so as not to disturb them, smiling faintly at their youthfulness. Of course, the three of them hadn't noticed Wayne leaving. Their youthful eyes were glowing with this opportunity, and they burned with a passionate fire! At the center of all their gazes was Zell. Her eyes also seemed to be burning. However, yep, it's likely no one noticed the faint shadow deep inside those eyes. Oh no. Oh god. My gut's telling me this might lead to an arc where Zell is either kicked out of Primavera, or she's captured. And I think that the wandering dogs, if she's kicked out, I think the wandering dogs will leave as well to go after her. And if she's captured, of course, they're going to try to rescue her. Zell had fiercely made a case for the wandering dogs participating in the pasta gathering. However, this pasta gathering was an opportunity for Hotaruvi as well. Even the noise of Chinatown didn't extend to the back alleys. In a dimly lit, disorganized room that smelled like dust, several GDS underlings were gambling. The door opened and two young women came in. Wait. Yeah.
Huh? Who's that? Oh, it's you, Shalon. I see you're as tiny as ever.
As Shaolan passed the man, she kicked him in the shin. The other men saw this and guffawed.
Hey, Shalon's companion's here, a hottie.
Ew. If they're talking about Zell, then ew, gross.
Hey, is that your friend? Come on, introduce us.
When the man made to hug her shoulder with an overly familiar gesture, his arm was twisted around and pinned behind his back.
Whoa. The hell are you doing?
After struggling and breaking free, the man tried to tackle the woman.
Enough. Don't you know who that woman is?
Oh, if it's not Zell, then that's much less gross.
Huh? She's not a whore, I need to call you.
No, it is Zell. Very gross. Fucking hell. She's so fucking young, you ass.
That girl is Hotarubi.
The men's eyes bulged, and they jumped back from Zell. Zell lowered a hood, exposing her face. The appearance of her slender body shouldn't have been threatening enough to make those men jump back. Damn. I wonder how she got to be such a badass.
We've been waiting for you. Please, this way.
The two girls followed the boss and disappeared into the back of the building. The men were still watching their backs, stunned. This was Hotaruvi, the legendary professional killer whispered about in the Chinese underworld. To think that she was such a slender girl who looked like she might be blown away by the wind. After remaining speechless for a while, the men started recounting the many terrible rumors surrounding Hotaru. However, when a professional killer becomes legendary, it means they're just about to hit their expiry date. Even this sad job she did in exchange for her father's safety probably wouldn't continue on for long. In the back were several shelves packed with small jars. Those jars were filled with strangely colored powders, liquids, and pastes. However, each one of those were secret medicines, which could have various effects on the human body, but which left no traces of their existence.
I was told to give you this poison.
Oh God.
It's a very valuable poison. I know of none other than this magnificent. It is tasteless and odorless. It's impossible for anyone to notice when being served it. Administering a very small quantity will cause a heart attack and death a week later.
Damn, I can't believe a poison like that exists. Like, it just no traces and then just death a week later? That's insanity. It was a fierce and ultimate poison, born from ancient wisdom. It brought death to the victim without them even realizing they'd been poisoned. It is said to have been created by a genius chemist of some dynasty amidst thousands of years of history. However, the emperor of that time grew fearful of this too perfect poison, so he buried away both the chemist and the instructions for how to make it. However, several samples that had already been created were passed down to many influential men in history. And it was whispered that this was one of those extremely rare samples. The man handed over a small pouch. Zell wordlessly took and put it in her pocket.
The target is Primavera's madam, Rose Ibora. Your master desires for you to complete the task within the month.
That's not enough time. It's too short to wait for a chance to approach Madame Rose during a meal. Please, let me have at least 3 months. I'll finish my task without fail.
No. Your master desires for you to complete this task within the month. I'm sorry, but you cannot refuse. Just as it's always been.
Sacre bleu.
We've invested a lot so that you could gain the trust of Primavera's inner circle. Isn't it about time you give us a return on our investment?
Oh, this is another fine mess I've gotten myself into. The Disney Channel sitcoms are about taking 2 dates to the same dance, but never having to kill someone you really like. Zack and Cody, you have failed me! Everything from the beginning had followed along with the scenarios the GDS had thought up. Meiju had succeeded in making connections with Rose. I was in the process of building a friendly relationship between the two families. However, some in the Council of Elders suspected that Meiju, a member of the previous leader's faction, would conspire with Rose and raise the banner of revolution. So they had decided to send Hotarubi, their trump card, into Primavera. They had hoped that she would observe the relationship between Primavera and Meiju, investigate internal matters, and if necessary become an assassin. To do that, she would have to work her way into Primavera's inner circle. The shortest road to that would be to earn credit and gain the trust of the higher-ups. In particular, it would be effective if she could visibly protect Madame Rose from assassins. Oh my god, that sudden attack in Chiba was actually the work of the GDS. Damn. How does her memory loss factor into this, though? They hired Japanese hitmen and had them attack so that no one knows the GDS. Of course, the attack was always supposed to end in failure. They were fake assassins arranged simply for the purpose of earning Hotarubi credit. Oh, that is depressing. Oh no! Charlotte had told Zell about the attack right before it happened. Oh, I see. In that instant, her memory had returned. Okay. Oh no, that's terrible. Poor Zell. This is just not fair. Oh God. Matters had proceeded as planned, and Hotarubi, alias Zell, has succeeded in earning a lot of trust from Wayne, Richard, and the rest. It's probably just a matter of time before the wandering dogs, Zell included, were chosen to be Madame Rose's team of personal guards. When that happened, Rose's life and death would always be at the GDS's fingertips.
If you care for your father's safety, we'll do good work. If you stumble, if something happens, I'll let them know GDS was behind this. You'll probably never see your father again.
I understand. I'll do it. I'll assassinate Madame Rose. Oh, God. Hey, we actually got a 1950s looking car here, finally. Club Primavera was a nighttime establishment. I see Ryukishi finally found a picture of an old-timey looking car, rather than the modern-ass one he used in some of the other ones, which was pretty hilarious. Club Primavera was a nighttime establishment. It was normal for executive guests to have lines of luxury cars parked in front of the club. However, today it seemed to be flourishing even in the middle of the day, with a line of several cars out front. However, all the people coming out of those cars were grim-faced men who didn't look remotely like guests. One after another, the bosses of the crews serving under Primavera arrived and were welcomed in. The cars of glaring, grim-faced men surrounded the club, preventing any passers-by from coming near it. Rose had asked that they avoid disturbing the neighborhood as much as possible, but if they want to gather together Primavera's VIPs, there was no way around this. After all, the pasta gatherings were no longer small parties held with close friends to save money. However, inside, the club was filled with cheery music and happy smiles. The bosses of all the crews were jostling about there. They drank, sang, and danced with beautiful women, enjoying a lively, stand-up style lunch party. However, those called a pasta gathering, tables were all lined with light foods such as crackers and sandwiches. Pasta sticks together if it isn't freshly boiled. See, I like it when pasta sticks together. It wasn't well suited for serving such a large group. There was a pasta gathering. None of them got a chance to eat pasta. Oh, that's a shame. The only ones who got to eat pasta were the bosses allowed into the meal meeting with Madame Rose. They were gathered in the VIP room. Unlike the bustling hall, this place has an elegant feel with classic records playing. However, these were battle-seasoned bosses. They ignored the atmosphere and enjoyed a merry meal. Oh, didn't you hear that, Mystery Theater? They're still gonna use that janky-ass old engine for frickin' Elder Scrolls 6. I don't know why. They still are. It's pretty fucking dumb.
Anyway, it's all about being popular. We're heroes in this city, right? They think that we outcasts get to walk around openly under the sun.
Don't get so cocky. The madam's the hero, not us soldiers.
Damn, I forgot what voice I gave him. Fuck.
I agree. We don't deserve any respect after all the protection money we grabbed during Caleb's day.
That's what's sad about being a soldier. If you lose, everyone down in the lowest ranks is a criminal. And even if you win, you never wipe away the blood that's covered you. But you can't win at sugar without pawns. Without us soldiers, no one can fight wars.
As always, I'm really grateful to all of you. We live in the underworld. It just so happens that everyone is welcoming us now, but it isn't usually that way. There may come a day when we'll have to be feared and avoided by the people because of the fight to protect our countrymen.
Perfect! Who cares if they hate us? That's just what I want. It means I can fight for our countrymen. Well said, Cyrus. Now that's the spirit of a soldier.
Thanks for everything, all of you. I never forget the gratitude I feel towards you. Please continue to lend me your strength for Primavera and our countrymen.
Our war ain't over. This time, let's really die for our countrymen and our homeland. Glory be to Madame Rose. To Primavera!
The bosses let out war cries and clinked their glasses together. It truly was a manly world for soldiers only. So Stella, Meryl, Richard, and Wayne were relaxing at a different table a short distance away.
The tone of Primavera has really changed, hasn't it? My screen time's been really reduced, but oh well, isn't that just the way things will go? It used to be a collective of women. Now it's mostly men.
Isn't that wonderful? Now everyone will realize you are a woman.
The heck are you saying? Fergie!
Haha, true. Primavera has changed. Changed ever since the time, Madam Rose decided that she wanted to guide her countrymen. I simply obey Rose, son.
Must be nice to be so straightforward. Well, I guess not so bad. Tell the truth, I'm a bit uneasy.
Well, I understand that. We used to spend our days dazzling our clients, fighting to see how much we could loosen their wallets and getting fawned over by men.
Well, no matter how much they put on airs, a lady of the evening is still a lady of the evening. Strap in and lube up. It was never a trade that let us walk openly under the sun.
Isn't that good then? Now you get to fight for your countrymen and walk out in the open.
What Rose is trying to do is splendid, and I respect her for it.
Still, it isn't something we mere ladies of the evening could ever have anticipated.
Well, to be honest, it feels like I'm living in someone else's dream. I'm just a side character. Don't you think so, big brother? Oni-chan? The thought that our Primavera would become something like this.
I am surprised by the swift change. However, it's something that someone had to do. Ever since I started raising Yuji, that's been made very clear to me day in and day out.
Just when they thought that Yuji, the nephew Richard was raising, had been a baby until a few days ago, he was already 2 years old. Yep, that's how it is. Kids will grow. They stop being babies before you know it. It's crazy. They grow so fucking fast. Like, to us, like a year or 2 or 3 is nothing. But, like, to a kid like that, such a huge chunk of their lives. Those days when he had thought about childcare and the sight of his countrymen at the same time seemed to have quietly changed him.
If you end up raising kids, I'm sure you'll realize that it isn't enough to fill your days with fun things alone.
Rose is in the right and so is Primavera. The people in the city have been able to regain their smiles. That really is wonderful. It's really a perfect score.
So what is it that's bothering you?
Have you ever been playing in the ocean when you suddenly realize that you drifted a long way from the shore?
I've never played in the ocean. Remember, I'm a street rat.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Reform always stirs up unrest. However, we aren't allowed to succumb to fear and lose up the courage needed to overcome our situation.
Yeah, you're right. It's not like we're complaining or anything. Baka. I'm just trying to say that everything's changing so quickly. I can't really settle down.
First the war, then the great disaster, and then Primavera. The years are passing so fast it makes my head spin. Ah!
And the passage of time is equal for everyone. If it's starting to feel quicker, doesn't that just mean you're getting old and slow?
Now even little Wayne's starting to think back. He got a lot more dignified ever since he became a boss. Isn't it about time you got a girlfriend? Seriously?
Don't mock me! I'm gonna stick with this. There's no time for playing around. I'll stick with this no matter what, until Roadstone overcomes this era. Of all the people Primavera has employed, you were the best catch.
Oh, wow.
After Leo, you mean?
Damn, Wayne's been character developing. That's really a big sign of growth for Wayne. In the past, he would have said this sarcastically, but Wayne's face was at ease. People, the city, and Primavera. Everything was changing at a hectic rate. Of course, human history will probably continue for at least 100, 200 years into the future.
Until the big bomb drops in Saconia and everything goes boom!
There probably won't be another bunch of years this hectic during those 1 or 2 centuries. Oh, that's something you did not predict, Ryukishi. Believe me. Oh well, not every decade can be the 1990s. Although, we sure want it to, us millennials. We were spoiled growing up in the 1990s. The most peaceful time that the world has ever had since the 1920s. Living during this time of upheaval had a strange sense and feel about it. That may have been what Wayne felt. Richard looked at Wayne with his newfound composure and considered the passing of the ages. Shall I fill your glass, consigliere?
Oh, thank you.
Zal appeared holding a bottle of mineral water. Mineral water? Really? With a refined motion, she poured at the perfect time to avoid interrupting the conversation. Would you ladies like some too? Sure, I'll take some.
You're pretty quick on your feet. If you ever get in a fight with Wayne, come over to Margaret. I'll take good care of you.
Stop trying to steal people from my crew! Have you wandering dogs been getting enough to eat? How about the other 3?
With a forced smile, Zal pointed towards the corner. Ah, just as expected. Oliver and Charles are completely frozen up from the tension. I can't believe I'm sitting in front of food and can't eat it!
The pasta looks as hard as steel.
I can't bring myself to stick my fork in it! The two of them were staring at the pasta, quivering with forks in their hands. Their heads were probably spinning with dozens of table manners. It was only natural. Wayne, the boss they adored so much, was a junior member here. The bosses were a bunch of valorous men from the battlefront. There was no way the dogs could join in on their conversation. Just a day ago, they'd been planning to sell themselves to the bosses and make their names known, but...
Hey, Missy. I'll have seconds too.
Okay! And the rest of you, how'd you like some, how would you like some seconds?
I'll take some too. Just pile right on there.
Apparently she thought it was less awkward to act like a waitress than it was to freeze up like Oliver and Charles. Even though she'd gotten a precious invitation to participate in the pasta gathering, she was basically acting like hired help.
My.
With a pained smile, Richard rose to his feet and walked toward Rose's seat. Rhymes. Rose had been going around the boss's seats pouring drinks, but when Richard whispered in her ear, she immediately came this way. I'm sorry to left you out in the cold, Oliver Kuhn and Charles Kuhn. Wayne Kuhn, could you bring Zelchan and Nina-chan here too?
Shall we move to a different room? Here, we'll get sucked into their atmosphere, and we won't be able to relax.
At Richard's suggestion, they all took plates piled with pasta and glasses and moved into the madam's office. I'm sorry, everyone. I invited you hoping it would go well. It looks like it was stressful instead.
That's not the case.
We are relaxing. I'm totally relaxed. The heck sort of dialect's that?
I'm sorry we're so tense.
If something like this makes you tense up, you won't be able to serve as Madame Rose's guard now, will you?
Oh boy. Those words made the wandering dog sit up straight. Thanks so much for what you did at Chiba. Without your cleverness, it would have been terrible.
They're still green, but the noses and back alley rats are forced to be reckoned with. When they coordinate as a team, they can do things that surprise even me. No, that's high praise from Mad Dog Wayne. No, forgive me, I wasn't trying to make fun of you. If Wayne gives such an enthusiastic stamp of approval, then your ability is the real thing.
It sort of feels like I'm in a dream. Don't get too cocky, kid. We're still being tested. You've all already heard about it, haven't you? I want to ask you to become my team of guards.
We're so grateful for your words. We'll do our best.
Oliver, you're getting too excited.
Shut up. At least I didn't say relaxing like you. Their useful reactions are entertaining, but they'll have to learn to focus their concentration more. Of course. I'll poisonally pound it into them. When I'm not around, I'll leave the garden to you. That means they'll have to reach up to my level. Of course. We'll work like our lives depend on it.
We're alley rats. We were shunned just because we were alive. And now, not only have people acknowledged that we exist, but they're counting on us.
Yes. I wouldn't regret losing my life.
Whoa! Crap! No, I'm even more excited than tense! I'm on fire! Just like a boy in desire! Nobody's gonna know that song. Okay. Work super hard! I'll definitely become strong enough to serve as Wing Song's right-hand men and women.
Very promising. I'm expecting a lot from you.
Half crying, the three of them expressed their enthusiasm in their own ways. The orphan children, whom no one had acknowledged before, had been acknowledged for the first time. They had surely received a jolt that would turn their world and lives upside down. They wanted to be strong, cool underworld men. They were just a step away from having their dream come true. But their dream wouldn't come true. Oh no, that's too sad. This opportunity for their dream to rise to the level of Madame Rose's personal guard would not come, after all. Oh, okay. It's not speaking. Okay. Because we know she's not going to die. We still have at least one more arc left. It's not a Disney song, Luca. I'll post it in Discord later. After all, Madame Rose would be poisoned today. Well, we know that's not going to happen. If a large number of core members suddenly died, then poison would be suspected no matter how perfect the poison was. So Rose must be the only one poisoned. Sal had been serving drinks, waiting for the right time to come, but it never came. They had moved to another room, but everyone had brought plates of pasta and glasses with them. They would probably continue with a smaller pasta gathering here. Since people were still eating and drinking, there was still a chance. This was the first and last chance for poisoning Madame Rose. It sounds simple to ask you to be my guards. However, it's the same as asking you to bear the brunt of any danger that comes to me.
We are prepared. It would be an honor to die in your place.
God damn it, now they're speaking one after another. This is Richard for anyone just listening.
My, how brave.
In that case, I'd like to start with why I must not die now. So, if anyone's planning to poison me at this moment, I really beg you to reconsider.
Well, no one wants to die.
Shh! Shut up and listen! What I say doesn't leave this room. Don't tell anyone. Can you promise me that? They all nodded silently. Rose smiled and nodded back. You see, I think the Japanese are a lazy people. Damn. Oliver and the others were taken aback, unable to believe that this was coming from Madame Rose, Lady of Charity and leader of her Japanese countrymen. However, Rose smiled gently. Apparently she wasn't saying it as an insult. There's nothing bad about them being lazy. Laziness was a Japanese virtue, really. I would never expect that to be said, because the stereotype is like of overworking is a Japanese stereotype. On a world scale, it's rare to find nations as lazy as Japan is on various matters. The lack of concern for crime prevention is particularly noteworthy, and they think even protecting one's own life is a dirty thing. No, that's not quite right. Being suspicious of people is an evil thing. So protecting against crime means you suspect your neighbor making it evil. Taking preventative measures means you're suspicious, which is evil. That's why they developed a strange culture where people openly expose themselves to harm, communicating their trust by being defenseless. What's the ideal downtown life that comes to the minds of all Japanese people? A disorderly but warm scene with small houses packed in tightly. If you put your futon out to dry on the balcony, you strike up a conversation with the housewife on the opposite balcony. Neighborhood kids dash around in groups. The housewives forget their children as they enjoy a good gossip. Husband casually goes into his neighbor's yard, saying,
It's been a while since we played Go, so how about a game?
they start a match under the eaves. That is a very typical 1950s scene, I think, regardless of whatever country you're talking about. A scene from a Japanese utopia where everyone interacts like family. All the neighbors treat each other like family. Even ringing a doorbell is overly formal. Yeah, this doesn't seem to be exclusive to Japan rather than just a general 1950s ideal in well-off countries. In this world, setting up barriers to people is unrefined, even violent. So everyone becomes defenseless, showing their trust. And everyone responding to that trust does not harm their neighbors, even though they are defenseless. It's the people called the Japanese who hold this strange utopia as an ideal. However, it goes without saying that the world isn't overflowing with mercy. You protect yourself by your own hand. That's the unwritten rule of the world. Back during the time Japan isolated itself, cutting off its ties with the world, that was still fine. However, when the black ships came and opened the country, Japan was faced with harsh reality. The Meiji era. When they turned their eyes outside of Japan, they found a world where people killing and eating each other was a natural thing. At that time, the world was all about invading and getting invaded. Yep, era of massive colonization. Advancing nations used their military power to invade underdeveloped countries, and they ruled over them for entire centuries. Would anyone choose to be invaded? This bizarre people who viewed defenselessness as a way to display their trust received a terrible shock when the country was opened. You didn't build up your walls of peace. You know what happened next. Japan switched gears and became a militant nation as though overcome by panic. Of course, after lavishing in our centuries of defenseless peace, we couldn't become lions all of a sudden. Perhaps the phrase weak dogs howl the most applies here. They howled at China and the West at the same time, picking fights one after another without considering the relative strength between countries. You never fight a war on two fronts. Almost like an elementary schooler who just entered his rebellious period. And what happened next goes without saying. Japan ended up paying for its long period of peace, and for failing to cultivate its character by interacting with the world. The Japanese are lazy, a foolish people who rely on the goodwill of others, even for their own protection. And most importantly, they're immature compared to the other peoples of the world. We're nothing more than children in an international society that's matured. Japan is just a child in international society. That certainly wasn't just a personal opinion held by Rose alone. Measured by the standards of modern civilization, they'd be like a boy of 12 as compared to our development of 45 years. That was a statement made later in 1951 by MacArthur to the American Senate Armed Services and Foreign Relations Committees. The Japanese at the time, who didn't really understand his true meaning, were very indignant about being treated like children, but Rose spoke with assurance. No, the Japanese are children. Because our country was isolated and positioned at the eastern tip of the world, we've been no more than children idling our time away until today. During that time, the world grew through interactions with neighboring countries, gaining strength and resilience. It'll be very hard for us to catch up starting now, but if we continue to get buried by American and Chinese immigrants, The Japanese people will most certainly be destroyed in the near future. This Tokyo scenery we have like something from a foreign country. Will become the usual in Japan. Rose calmly and cold-bloodedly predicted Japan's near future. Surely it was faintly visible in the depths of her eyes. A future where the Japanese don't act like Japanese. No, a future where the Japanese are destroyed. Oliver and the others gulped at the tangible presence of that future. Yeah, definitely Mystery Theater. Yep. They're definitely forgetting about that part.
We won't content ourselves with waiting for that future to come. Primavera must be the breakwater.
We must be the guides for our countrymen. Amidst the crowds of immigrants from Western and Eastern countries, the Japanese have to realize that we must become strong. We must learn how to work hard and protect ourselves. Graduate from the laziness that lets us lavish in the goodwill of others, as though it's perfectly natural. I think that only when that happens will the Japanese be able to sit on an even footing with the Americans and Chinese and share in prosperity. That's the ideal I hold, as the person who loves this country. I have to guide them, so that the people can learn diligence and resilience from the Americans and the Chinese. That may take a long time, and I might not be able to accomplish it on my own. So at least until that time comes, I must not die no matter what. Not until the Japanese find the strength to get by in the world. Or at least not until they start walking down that path. When she finished talking, Rose drank all the water left in her glass in one gulp. Even though her expression had been a bit scary a second ago, it was peaceful again now. Sorry for talking so much. However, I want you to think about this. At this rate, our culture will be lost. Losing our culture means losing the community of our countrymen. What happens at warm family get-togethers? Aren't they overflowing with Japanese culture and tradition? Please try and remember. Remember celebrating Japanese New Year in Setsubun and Hinamatsuri with your families. In the country, in the summer, there was Tanabata and the Bon Festival. On autumn, there was Otsukimi, right? Zell was stunned, but she remembered back just as Rose had asked. And what she saw was her father, her mother, and a big sister and her little brothers, all of them. She recalled fond memories of the Japanese New Year. Mother? She was strict sometimes, but she was so kind. Okay, so the mother didn't die giving birth. My big sister was a meanie. Whenever I got something even a little cool, she'd say, "You're still too young for this," and take it. But she was always the one who beat up the bullies. My little brothers were small, so whenever there was an event going on, they'd get excited and run around. I must have picked up my big sister's bad habits. My little brothers tried to do all sorts of things, but I always scolded them, saying they were too young. If I'd known what would happen later, I'd have let them do whatever they wanted as much as they liked. However, just remembering that heartwarming New Year's family get-together made my eyes water. Madame Rose is saying she wants to protect that. At this rate, if the Japanese are swallowed up by American and Chinese culture, that heartwarming scene of the Japanese New Year will vanish too. When that happens, I might not be able to remember that family get-together anymore. At long last, tears began to fall from my eyes. I couldn't stop them. Oh, sorry. The narration keeps switching. It wasn't just as I'd been drawn back into one memory. This person, this Madame Rose, was trying to protect my only happy memory. No one else protected me. I had to sacrifice my body just to live. So my only reason for living was to tie to my father. My tie to my father. I'd sought that as long as I could cling to that. I didn't need anything else. This Madame Rose was trying to protect the truly precious memories of my whole family. Zal, I'm sorry. That's strange. I can't stop crying.
Rose-san, their families,
Oh, fuck. I'm sorry. That was thoughtless of me. Please don't take it badly.
Of course we won't take it badly. We're back alley rats. However, we had families until the Great Disaster.
We usually keep it holed up deep inside us. We don't remember it too often, but oh boy, when something triggers our memories, there come the water wakes.
For every last one of us. It's the one treasure we can never throw away.
Yes. It's the one treasure we could never throw away. Isn't it? Come to think of it, Ina was looking a bit teared up too. Even these self-styled alley rats once had families. And they all had memories they could never abandon. Madame Rose understood this. And she protected those memories. You could tell from their solemn gazes that they all understood Rose's greatness. I've talked so much my throat is getting dry. Zal, there's a bottle of mineral water over there. Could you fill my glass? And you could also, turn around and even fill it behind my back. You know what? I want it to be a surprise. Everybody cover your eyes while Zal fills my glass. It'll be really more eventful that way. Oh boy. Oh no. Why does this always happen to me? With absolute defenselessness, she handed her empty glass to me. Wow, how ironic. How very ironic given what she just said. The bottle of mineral water was on the side table by the wall. It was perfectly positioned to create a blind spot with my back while pouring. Why, Madame Rose? After what you just said? You claim that defenselessly trusting people is what makes the Japanese fools. Why do you trust me? I took her glass. I could tell that my fingers were shaking. They were shaking as much as, no, more than the first time I killed a person. Why? I know. All the people I've killed in the past have been villains who take advantage of the misfortune of many others. All their heads were filled with nothing but selfish desires, and they never give a thought for the happiness of others. But this person is different. This is a person who must not be allowed to die. I turned my back to them and picked up the bottle of mineral water from the side table. If I just fill this glass and put the poison in, it'll be over. The poison was inside a ring-shaped assassin's tool. When used, a small pill would fall out. It would melt rapidly without leaving any smell or taste. With just a single gulp, the victim would die from a heart attack a week later. No one would think it any more than an unfortunate sudden illness. Even the victim wouldn't realize that she had been poisoned. There was no antidote. If he swallowed it, death was certain. What will happen if I hesitate to poison her? My mission will fail, and my father's life will end. To protect my father's life, I must kill Madame Rose, the one who's trying to protect my family's memories. It is the Cat-22. My father's memories and my father are both precious treasures to me. I can't abandon either of them, but I can only protect one of them. Zell, just tell them everything. They can probably rescue your father. You gotta come clean. With all these people here, they could probably set up a rescue mission. You can fake Rose's death, and they can set up a rescue mission for your dad. I can't abandon either of them, but they can only protect one of them. As there's no getting around it. It's for my father, after all. Looks like Madame Rose really has to die. My mind went blank, and I thought I could hear my father scolding me. No father would be happy to have his daughter become a murderer for his own sake. No. I'm acting like a spoiled brat. I'm just forcing my reason for murder, my sin, upon my father. I'm being unfaithful to my parents. Father was right. I just can't stop clinging to my parents. Father told me to separate from my parents, to put myself first. If so, my soul is whispering to me. Madame Rose, this person must not be killed. If I drop the poison to that quivering surface of water, it'll all end. If I raise my hand to the glass like this, and twist the device on the ring just a little, the pill will fall and melt. I can't do it, Father! Madame Rose's ideals feel as important to me as you do. What should I do? I slowly pulled back the hand that had raised above the surface of the water. I hadn't dropped the poison. Just thinking about what that meant made my mind go blank. It tingled. I swayed. I shivered. But this is right. Father, this is okay, right? Then I picked up the swirling glass and turned around. My heart leapt. Because right before my eyes and nose, Madame Rose was standing there, smiling. In other words, she had been standing right behind me the whole time. Did she know about it? She had been watching every move I made from over my shoulder. Bitch, do you think I trusted you? I would have freaking had you shot 58 times over if you tried to poison me. Ah! Looks like the jig is up. My voice froze. Wow. So Rose did take her own advice. Damn. Her gaze pierced me, and I thought I was going to suffocate. However, she was smiling. Damn, I think she knew it was going to happen. Thank you, Zal. Madam Rose. Thank you for protecting my life. Oh, wow. How did they find out about this? She had seen through all of it. I didn't know why. But she had figured out that I was trying to poison her. After all, that ring doesn't suit you. She knew. Oh my god. She probably did recognize it because it was the same one Rose had that other time when she was at the pier with Wayne. Yeah, exactly. I mean, not with Wayne, with freaking, I forgot his name. God damn it. The gay guy. God damn it. Fucking hell. Yes, exactly, Mystery Theater. I immediately tried to hide the ring, but it was too late. Okay, you know what? This is good. Everything can get out in the open. Miguel, yes, that's what his name. Mystery Theater, yes. Wow. Damn, that is amazing that Rose, that is awesome that she took her own advice. She knew the whole goddamn time. And it makes sense that it was the same kind of ring that Meiju gave Rose because they're both from the Gold Dragon Society. My mind was completely blank. How did she guess? How did I let it slip? No. In the next moment, my body moved regardless of my will. I've been a mistress for so many underworld bosses. I've seen people get killed like it was a show over and over again. I'll be killed, and killed brutally, humorously, mercilessly. Fear raced through my body. I dashed out of the room before I knew what I was doing. I dashed through the packed hall towards the exit, bouncing on people's shoulders. It had grown dim outside, and it was starting to drizzle. The cold outside air felt as cold as hard as concrete. It felt as though my lungs would be filled with that merciless, icy concrete and frozen solid. But if I stopped, I'd die. I could remember those many brutal deaths. People with their ears, arms, and legs cut off before they died. I remembered the time my brothers were killed. They were just babies. Oh my god. I remembered the time my sister was killed. I remember the time my mother was killed. Oh no. No. Make it stop! Ah! Zal ran through an intersection with a red light and was bathed in the sound of car horns. Consumed by a fear so great, it was like the whole city was trying to swallow her whole. Zell was unable to stop. At that moment, Zell's hand was grabbed from behind. Stop! Let go! Let go! Zell, calm down, damn it! What's wrong? What happened all of a sudden? Charles didn't know what he was doing either, and refused to let Zell wrench her hand free from his grasp. The two of them fell into a puddle. Oliver and Nina caught up with them a second later. Dang, you guys are fast.
What on earth happened? Why did you just suddenly run away, Zell?
Let go! Let go! Ah! We don't even know what's wrong. Anyway, we gotta calm her down. She's all drenched. She'll get a cold at this rate.
Carry to the music shop. Wayne-san? What on earth? Basically, Zell's an assassin hired to kill Madame Rose. Oh, for fuck's sake.
What are you talking about, Aniki Wayne? Cell wouldn't do that.
No, but Hotorubi would.
I won't let anyone insult Cell like that. Not even you.
Hello, apparition. Welcome to the stream. I do wonder when they found out about this.
I won't.
Stop, Charles. Wayne-san, is that true?
I don't believe it. I won't even let you get away with saying that, Aniki Wayne.
Zell's an assassin? She's an enemy?
Her code name's Hotorubi. Yeah, she's a talented, treasured professional killer at Chinatown.
A professional killer? Zell is... That's insane!
Normally, I would have preferred to strangle her on the spot. But Rose-san told me not to. It's time for you to talk, Zell. I made the mistake of trusting you. Someone who never received the baptism of the Aries. My naivete is partly responsible.
How did they find that out? Did they have someone tailing her when she was leaving and talking to, like, a Shaolan?
Take her to the music shop. Oliver, Charles, make sure she doesn't get away. Yes, boss.
You're kidding, right, Aniki?
Wayne didn't answer and turned to face away from him. Oliver bit back his remaining hesitation and grabbed Zell's right arm. Not with gentleness as he would an ally, but as an enemy. Charles hesitantly took Zell's left arm. But after just touching, he slowly lowered his arm.
Charles?
This has got to be a lie. It's gotta be. Right, Cell? Tell me it's a lie.
I'm sorry. Zell? I'm sorry, everyone. I'm so sorry.
You're lying! I don't believe it. This has got to be a lie! Isn't it, Aniki Wade? Tell me it's a lie! Aniki!
Chapter 4. Wang's next move, end. Dang. Obviously, we're not stopping here. We'll go a bit into the next chapter. The sky was a leaden gray. It might start pouring any moment. There was already a downpour over City 23. The clouds seemed to be just on the brink over City 22. The GDS, the Chinese mafia based in City 22. Its influence stretched beyond its control over City 22 and was currently encroaching on the neighboring cities by extending Chinatown. That influence was prominent among the underworlds across Tokyo's independent cities. You could probably put it at the top of the list of Eastern Japan. However, the position of its leader was empty at the moment. Its previous charismatic leader, Sun Zilong, had passed away. Management of the GDS had been taken over by the Council of Elders, which has once been a group of advisors. Well, that's a classic story. Normally, the position of leader should have been passed to his son studying overseas, Sun Zilong, immediately following his death. Oh. Okay, thank you. Translation notes. The son's name is spelled the same as the father's in English, but pronounced and written differently in Chinese. Wow, that sucks. Just say Sun Zilong Jr. The father's name is written with the characters Purple Dragon, while the son's name is written with the characters Young Dragon. However, because Zilong was a minor at the time, the Council of Elders decided on its own that it would run the GDS as his representative until he gained sufficient virtue. Well, that sounds like a load of BS. In actual fact, Sun Zilong Jr. was still young, and though his school grades were excellent, he still had a long way to go before he'd be ready to sit on the throne of the Underworld's king. Okay, so he's the young lord. Are we ever going to meet him? From that moment onwards, the GDS split into two factions. One was the former leader's faction. Members of this felt that Sun Zilong, the young lord, was the only inheritor, and that the council had simply been acting as a temporary representative. The leading member of this group was Lee Meiju. These young VIPs, whose talent had been recognized by the former leader and who had been placed in high positions, still felt obligated to him and swore loyalty to his son. They were young, but their talent, as had been recognized by the former leader, was the real thing. They had enough power that even the Council of Elders couldn't ignore them. Of course, their leading member, Meiju, was the young dragon who the council had also been watching and fearing.
Well, hello there, honored brother. Good day to you. Oh, if it isn't little May. So you've come here. It's a bit early, but I was thinking about having dinner now. Would you care to join me?
The other faction was the council faction. It was made up of people who claimed the council had real power of the GDS. By their interpretation, when the young lord had acknowledged that fact, a bloodless transfer of power had in fact occurred. To them, the young lord and his followers were too young. Those in that group were much lower on the scale of seniority, which gave people the right to have their voices heard, they claimed. In addition, they thought the existence of a former leader's faction would eventually become a source for discord. So they were always looking out for a chance to purge it. Its leading member was Wang Hong.
My apologies. I've already made plans for dinner. Now there's a surprise. At this time, you've already made plans. Oh, did you eat a late lunch? Embarrassing as it is, I must take better care of my health. Lately, every time I ask you to a meal, my timing's always been rotten, hasn't it? I wonder if the fate of the stars is driving us apart. I am certain nothing of the sort is the case.
It was a farce. Even Wang didn't really expect Meiju to join him for a meal. It was light sarcasm that was half a greeting. Wow, that is such a Chinese thing. Dang. Back when Meiju was Wang's subordinate, he had been taught the ways of the underworld. However, they were now representatives for their respective factions. Like, yeah, Maestro has told me, like, so many things in Chinese culture are similar to that, where you're expected to go through, like, these lengthy things of literally asking people stuff that they are supposed to refuse, like, just for the sake of a greeting. So, yeah, it's really fascinating. On the surface, it appeared that their old teacher-pupil relationship still continued. However, both Meiju and Wang were calculating inside their heads how to take down and bury their opponent if he ever let his guard down.
Hey, little May. We're both people in this line of work. Who knows if we'll ever get a chance like this again? Once in a lifetime, is it? There may be never another chance for us to meet under such peaceful conditions. Knowing that, will you still refuse my offer?
Wang had been the very first to recognize Meiju's talent. Because of Wang's recommendation to Sun Zilong Sr., Meiju's path to advancement had opened. Oh wow. How very ironic. So he's his old master. They might have said that before and I didn't pick that up, but that's really interesting. That was why he really wanted Meiju close. However, Meiju didn't feel attached to him anymore. With a light laugh and a sigh, Wang spoke in Japanese. Nearly everyone here only spoke Chinese, so the words said in this moment passed only between Wang and Meiju.
Little May, I'll use this soy sauce war to completely take over City 23. I won't mince words. Soy sauce war? How grandiose.
All Wang had done to Primavera was to stick to some businessmen and divert some soy sauce. Surely the term war was far too extreme. However, Meiju understood. He knew that this was just a preliminary test. Wang had already secretly begun a massive plan, which started with bargaining for soy sauce. His abacus has already predicted an ending where Primavera would be cornered and forced to surrender.
Madame Rose is wise. I'm certain she won't make the wrong decision. Ever since the fight with the Caleb family, no matter how thorny a path she had to walk through, she's always prioritized the profit of her countrymen. After all, she is a perilously pure human being.
Meiju, she's not as naive as she was when you met her.
And at the same time, she's rather shrewd. Once she's reached a decision, there's a danger of her doing something so outrageous that I couldn't even imagine. After all, that she did have our support. She's the one who decided to raid the Caleb family with just 7 people. Such a shame that such daring would be wasted on a woman.
Ooh, Meiju, don't talk like that.
She isn't short-tempered, but she's considerably dangerous. So you plan to erase her? Outer Ruby has already taken action. She'll probably be on her deathbed within 10 days. After that, the new leader will be Richard, who may have the same countryman first attitude, but has none of Rose's charisma.
Sorry.
We want to make him and Primavera accept our peace. How do you think we should go about it?
Well, now, I'm afraid I'm too immature to know.
We need a carrot. Ho ho! Richard is wise. He'll soon realize that logically, the best strategy to protect the lifestyles of his Japanese countrymen is to join forces with the GDS. But he's short-tempered. And on top of that, he doesn't have the necessary charisma to hold all of Primavera together. In the underworld, charisma comes from tales of valor. Madame Rose gained that by defeating Father Caleb.
If we give Richard something similar, he'll gain charisma, control Primavera, and convince Primavera.
I think it's better if the war ends with both sides claiming they've won.
People think that wars can only end with a resolution or else as a draw, but there are rare cases where both sides come out as victors. This goes into the future, but in 1979, after the Sino-Vietnamese War, both sides declared that they were the victors. When Vietnam invaded Cambodia, which China was supporting, China invaded with 100,000 troops on February 17, 1979. On the other side, Vietnam resisted with a mere 30,000 troops, but with elites who had survived the Vietnam War. After a few weeks of fierce fighting, the Chinese military ordered a retreat on March 6th, and the war ended. Vietnam declared victory because it had repelled the enemy. On the other side, China treated the invasion as a war of punishment against Vietnam for attacking their ally, Cambodia. So having given Vietnam a suitable punishment over a few weeks, they withdrew and declared victory.
I want the curtain to close on this war of mine with both the GDS and Primavera as winners. First, we will force Primavera to thank us as our subjects and gain practical profit, making it a victory for us.
Oh? And Primavera?
As a result of their conflict with the GDS, they fought a good fight and forced a reconciliation from the GDS, achieving victory in a practical sense. That's how we'll leave it. They managed to force a peace from one of the 5 largest groups in the Tokyo underworld. It should be more than sufficient war gain for Primavera. Of course, it will also be a big war gain for Richard. It will give him prestige and charisma. And more importantly, it would give him valid reason for coming to the negotiation table with the GDS.
I see. So instead of a special office window stolen from him after a defeat, it'll be a special office window transferred as a result of the peace they've won. But Aniki, if we give him a carrot in such a manner, won't someone on the GDS's side need to be sacrificed?
Oh, my boy! That's where you come in.
Oh, fuckleberries.
You think so? Well, we'll figure that out when we get there.
Oh. If we're looking for a sacrificial leader who can win over Primavera, the group which still represents City 23, then who might be appropriate? I wonder.
True. Let me know if you think of anyone, okay? Hint, hint.
Meiju had completely figured it out. In exchange for making Primavera accept an unreasonable demand, the Council of Elders were planning to give them the honor of victory in the conflict. And as a sacrifice, they planned to offer the figurehead of the former leader faction, the young lord. Oh, I thought it'd be Meiju. He was an eyesore to the council, and he was the person who'd been promised the position of next head, at least ceremonially. If Primavera took him down and put an end to their conflict with the GDS, it would make for a great story to their credit as a parting gift. It would earn Primavera the respect of the surrounding cities, and the GDS would have proved that Richard Mayogi was small-scale general. But not one to be underestimated, was a small-scale general. Historically speaking, it isn't rare for the victors to praise the defeated. Even the Spanish Armada was happily referred to as the Invincible Armada by England after they defeated it. A hunter would never degrade the prey he caught. He praises and overly values the loser so that he can go on to say how big it was and how incredible he was for defeating it.
Hey, little May. After thinking about this as a bit,
Yes.
won't you share a meal with me? If you aren't hungry, then I wouldn't mind just having some tea. I would hate to lose you.
Wang's Japanese pronunciation was slightly vague. Sounded like oshi, to hate to lose, but it also sounded a bit like hoshi, to want. Or maybe it was a mixture of the two. Wang Yuanhong was the man who had spotted Meiju's talent first, raised him, and he was now called honored brother by him. So this may have been a bit of compassion, a final bit of advice. If the young lord disappeared, the former leader faction would be purged. Its leader, Meiju, would not escape that purge.
Forgive me, honored brother. I have some pressing business to which I must attend.
I see. Sorry to delay you. See you soon, then.
Please excuse me.
After Meiju bowed and left, Wang watched him go with a calm gaze. However, his eyes just looked a little dry. Finally, the sound of rain began to come from the roofs. The sky, which had been holding back until now, came crashing down.
Useful as ever, I see. It's true that the special privilege of the young is that they can postpone all sorts of decisions, but you don't have that much time left. Until you're no longer able to choose your future. Yes?
Chapter 5, The Assassin. Cell was cold all the way through. She was lying on a bed wrapped in a bath towel. She wasn't sleeping. However, she just stared up at the ceiling wordlessly like a doll.
I can't believe it. To think that Zell was an assassin after Madame Rose's life.
Charles muttered something about how he hated Aniki for saying stuff like that and faced the other way. Nina sat on a chair at the side of the bed, absently staring at the ceiling like Zell. True enough, the poorly matched ring that had been removed from Zell's finger contained a contraption in it. A contraption that could drop a single pill so that no one would notice it.
Her greatest weapon is her appearance, which doesn't look anything like a hitman. She's apparently assassinated several big fish in the criminal underworld. Proof that she thought the Ruby, the assassin, is the butterfly tattoo on her neck. There's no way that's the only tattoo like that in the world. You've obviously got the wrong person. Shut up, Charles. No one's asking for your opinion. Apparently it was all planned from the beginning. Everyone knows that Madame Rose feels compassion for ladies of the evening. Making use of that, she dressed up as recently escaped Lady of the Evening and dumped in front of Madame Rose's car that night.
But she actually did lose her memory.
You're lying! There's no way she could conveniently jump in front of the red car on purpose! Shut up, Charles! It was known that Madame Rose would go to the GHQ that day and will line and wait along the road, returning to City 23 the whole time.
I don't know what they're saying. Oh, hello, Guppy Force. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for the translation.
That call was from the surveillance team, whose this vehicle will be arriving shortly. And we need you lot to give us a good villain act. This girl's the lady of the evening. Oh, hear that, Hado Ruby? Do not fail. And she's escaped from your store. You chased her. That's the plot, got it? No problems here, China.
I understand, is what Zell said there in Chinese.
Then she curry favor from you and use you to gain the trust of our high-ranking members. Liar!
The easiest way to get close to Madame Rose was to gain Primavera's trust. And surely young people burning with ambition would be convenient for that goal. Their first accomplishment was during the backdoor employment agency incident. The person who claimed to have heard their first clues to this was Zell. It may always have been a farce set up by the GDS to give Zell credit. Even the assault on Shiva may have been a farce to earn credit. Though the scale of the assassin's attack had been large, the locations they had moved from and their timing had been clumsy under closer inspection. Damn, yeah, seriously, Princess of Balance, welcome to the stream. Charles got duped. But I don't believe that, but she really did lose her memory, is what the game said. Yeah. I don't think that she used them while her time was there, because the game said that she really did lose her memory, and it only came back when Xiaolan talked to her. And yeah, Charles is really going to be affected by this. So all the wandering dogs are. I don't know if they're going to survive this. They had obtained considerable firepower and even grenades, but the timing of their use had been pathetic, almost as though they had been intending to fail to give someone else credit. Liar! Liar, 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 liar! Usoda! It seemed Oliver no longer had the willpower to tell Charles to shut up. No matter how much he wanted to protect Zell, that ring she had worn was proof. Well, this sucks. I've been thinking, that our group of 3 losers was sailing a bit too smoothly lately. Even though our luck had run out long ago. We just kept getting lucky. Over and over. I've been thinking about that. Don't say that! Hanakimu is just jealous of Zell's accomplishments, so he's talking nonsense.
I don't know what to think. Please. Zell. Let me hear it from you.
I won't believe anything but that.
For a while, Zell remained silent. However, her gaze wavered uneasily. Eventually, she hung her head as though resolving herself. I'm sorry. Everyone. Lies! Lies, 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 lies! Charles screamed as though trying to cover up Zell's words. With a lifeless, forced smile, Nina could not but let out a sigh. Oliver ground his teeth together so hard as seeing one of them might come out, quietly punching the floor.
So you acknowledge that you tried to kill Rosa.
Yes, boss. Charles wasn't yelling anymore. However, he pounded his fist against the wall over and over again. So, we're just dumbasses. We've been fooled all this time. So you were lying when you said you lost your memory, though? No. That part alone was true. In order to fake a coincidental accident, it had been necessary to put her body at risk. Zell, who couldn't afford to waste a one-time chance, had been half forced to prepare herself for what might become an actual traffic accident.
So, you really lost your memory in that accident?
I wonder, how can we know?
Shut up, Nia! Don't interrupt Zell! So, when did your memory come back?
Right after the attack in Chiba. Xiaolan, who had been tailing Rosa's group, was supposed to tell Zell about the attack before it happened. At first, when Xiaolan had winked at Zell, she hadn't understood what Xiaolan meant. However, she looked into Xiaolan's eyes. Oh, the worst brain blast ever! Oh, God.
I heard that Charles had figured it out because he didn't notice they didn't smell like the sea.
Zell told me. At that time, there had been a peaceful mood in the restaurant. Also, Charles and the others had been starting to lose the feeling of tension they had felt up until then. At that time, Zell had tapped his shoulder. She said we shouldn't let our guards down. She asked if the people who just came in didn't look a little suspicious.
I see. So it was an arranged accomplishment.
Fucking kill me. I thought that it was strange.
What was? What was strange?
That dropouts like us were making such a difference like that. Normally it'd be impossible. It'd be impossible for us to do something that important.
Don't laugh! I believe Zell! I'll never believe that Zell was an assassin!
I'm sorry. Everyone. I'm sorry. Zell bowed her head and sobbed. Oliver and the others could do nothing but stare, with shameful expressions on their faces.
However, you stopped putting the poison into Rosan's glass for a moment before doing it. Why?
I thought that this was a person who must not die. Wayne said nothing, just closed his eyes and let out a long sigh. To him, anyone who tried to assassinate Madame Rose, whom he revered, was someone so despicable that he could never kill them enough. It was as though he was quietly letting out all those feelings with that long sigh.
I've been ordered by Richardson to kill you. Wayne-son!
Oliver hurriedly rose to his feet, looking toward the other for support. Zell, you have to tell them about your father. That they're forcing you to do this. You're not doing this of your own will. However, Nina was just still looking at the ceiling with a forced smile. Charles was slumped over and wouldn't meet either of their eyes.
Calm down, Oliver. Madame Rose ordered me not to kill her, so I can do whatever the hell I feel like. To me, Rosan's orders are the most important in the world. I follow Rosan's orders and intentions voiced. Wayne-son. Zell, leave the city. Never show your face here again.
Oh God, no! They're Melisandring her. Fucking hell. Can't you at least hear her story?
Next time I see you, I'll shoot without mercy.
Yes, boss. Wayne pulled several bills from a wallet in his shirt pocket, then threw them.
A farewell gift. With your looks, you should be able to get by wherever you go. What a shame.
After saying just that, Wayne put on his jacket. He left the music store without another word. God damn it, Zell! Tell them what happened! Tell them! Probably been a shock for Wayne as well. When Zell heard the sound of the engine in Wayne's car, she stumbled to her feet. Luca, I do understand the sentiment, but Wayne doesn't know that.
Zell.
Everyone. Thanks for everything. I'm sorry for deceiving you. Charles, still hanging his head, didn't answer. Nina gave a faint forced smile, but her gaze never left the ceiling.
There was some reason, right? Some reason you couldn't disobey them.
Come on, Zell! Stop! No! Tell them! Fucking hell. There is no excuse for what I did. After all, it's true I deceived all of you. There's nothing a liar like me could say after all that. Zell put on her still wet clothes and went downstairs without even touching the farewell gift Wayne had left. She would probably leave this place, no, this city. Oliver wanted to try and stop Zell too, but they didn't move. Come on, Oliver, my man, who's I'm thinking has a crush on her, is the one. Oliver, go after her. She needs you, please. Over and over again, he looked between them and Zell as she disappeared into the hallway and yelled.
Are you two okay with this? Hey, Charles! Nina!
Sorry, Oliver.
What do you mean, sorry? Don't apologize to me!
I'm also not sure what's going on. I like Zell. I still like her.
In that case... And that's why I don't know! I'm dumb after all! This empty-headed mind doesn't have a clue what's going on!
Charles violently scratched at his head, moaning as though suffering from emotions he couldn't express. Watching this, Nina smiled with cloudy eyes and sighed. It's not like I'll start hating Zell. I know we'd really better be grateful. She let us three losers see a happy dream.
We're comrades, aren't we? The four of us swore that, right? Am I wrong?
And that was the dream. It may have been a good dream, but it was all a dream. I gotta say, out of all the four of them, I would probably be reacting like Nina. I would just go right back into that self-hatred, basically thinking it's too good to be, I knew it was too good to be true type thing. That Nina is probably how I would react. Like, going head first into that into that self-hatred that she's expressing right now. We've been a bunch of dropouts from the start, both now and in the past. It's just the same as it's always been. Nothing more to it.
I didn't think you were so cold-hearted. You've disappointed me.
Yay, Oliver, go! Woo! Oliver dashed down the stairs calling Zell's name. After that, only the stunned pair remained.
Zell! Zell!
The rain had grown stronger. Zell was nowhere to be seen. Oliver yelled as loud as he could. But it was swallowed up by the wind and rain and vanished. No! Oliver, you gotta go after her! Oh, God. Okay, you guys. This is the start of a brand new scene. I hate to end it on such a depressing note, but... Oh, God. There's nowhere to go but up. Oh, God. Oh, wow. That was a bit of a downer, but we all knew this was coming. Oh, God. I wonder what's gonna happen now. Okay, you guys. Until next time, tomorrow, we got some more Remember 11. And we'll continue this on Sunday. So until next time, I will say, so long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, good night. You're all the sweetest of hearts. See ya.